Okay. So, yes, good morning. Good morning, Shankar. Good morning, everyone. Satyam, this is actually what happens with the system is that this is the technology that in this screen, it is me who would be audible, who would be speaking in the entire session. Whatever issues or whatever things you people are facing, you want to ask anything from me, it can happen on the question thing, and I can immediately read out that this is something you people are facing or this is a question and answer it immediately. I believe this is now clear for everyone. Yeah. So currently the screen is just a Tax Guru logo and I've not yet presented anything. I believe this is visible to everyone because some people are saying that screen is not visible. Okay, okay. So first thing, my mode of communication would be a mixture of Hindi and English both. I believe we all will be comfortable in that. If anyone feels uncomfort in Hindi, please do let me know. Fine. So सबसे पहले आज हम यहाँ पे okay okay Nandini, for you it would be everything would be going on in English only. So today we are here. We have actually gathered here for our this particular course called GST Compliances, right? When we say GST compliances, I would like to know what exactly comes to your mind when you say that we are going to go ahead with GST compliances. Is it exactly we are talking about the GST law or what else? I'm waiting for some responses to be there in my question box. Okay, filing of returns. What else? What else do you think? So, Veena ma'am is saying it's GST credits and payments. Okay. As per Sushma ma'am, it is laws and registration, payment on time to government, statutory requirements for GST filing as per RUPAL. Okay, as per Satyan, it's monthly computation of GST liabilities. So you all, this is very nice to know that you all have an idea that what exactly the GST compliances is all about. So in this entire particular course, we are going to go ahead with all the GST compliances, be it be return filing, as you have said, be it be input tax credit, or be it be GST law, its implementation, because the law keeps on changing every day, and accordingly, what the government keeps on doing is that it keeps on making the changes in our GST portal. And how, as a person who is doing GST compliances for everyone, how we are going to cope up with that. We have to keep ourselves updated every day to meet those GST compliances. Because see, when we talk about when we are working for ourselves, our business, or our clients, it is about keeping them updated. Everything which has to be done for them in terms of GST compliances should happen on time. If anything doesn't happen, there is a lag. So basically, who would be our default? We, because of us, our client would then be responsible to pay all the late fees, penalties, interest, and everything, right? So good to see that everyone knows about that what we are going to do in these 9 sessions. So before starting, what I would like is that I would like to give a brief profile of mine to you, that what exactly I am, so that you must be knowing that who is teaching you. So my name is Deepika Agrawal. Okay. And by profession, I'm a practicing chartered accountant. I would like to tell you about the few qualifications that I have done. So, first of all, I am a CA. In IPCC, I was a 9th rank holder all India. Then in my CPT, I was 19th rank holder. I've also completed my CS finals. In that, I have in finals, I have got 23rd rank all India. In addition to that, I have done my BCom honors from Hansraj College in Delhi. That's in North Campus. And 12th was done with 95% marks in 12th, and 10th was completed with 93.4% marks. In addition to that, after being a CA, our institute provides us with certain post-qualification courses. So I have done my DISA. Then I have done this forensic accounting course. I have even gone through the concurrent audit things, then did the certification for GST. And earlier to that, I have even done the certification courses with indirect taxation. And currently, I'm pursuing my LLB. Third year is going on, and I'm about to give my examination in a few days. So this is a short profile of me that I wanted. Satyam, DISA is Diploma in Information Systems and Audit, which our institute provides only to the members. After completion of CA, you can go ahead with the DISA qualification. Okay. So before starting with what exactly would happen, there are certain things that you people should be aware about regarding that how this technology will function, what all things would be available to you. So this is a course of 9 sessions. We are taking 9 sessions in which one session, the first session, which is happening today, is our intro session. The timings are from 8 to 9:30. By mistake, I have taken 15 minutes. Going forward, we are having 8 sessions. The timings are Saturday, it's 6 to 8:30 p.m. And on Sundays, our timings would be morning 8 to 10:30 a.m. All the classes will be starting on time. Apologies for today. But then I would request all of you to be there on the portal on time and log in on time, because what matters is that the live classes are the best one. Over here, you have an option that whatever questions are there in your mind, you can ask to me directly and I'll be answering that, right? But still, the technology provides you with a thing that in case due to any of the unforeseen circumstances, you are not able to attend any of the classes, we will be providing you with recordings of all the sessions that are happening. The recordings will be made available to you. So hopefully in next 2 to 3 days, you will be receiving a mail from Tax Guru Edu that would be providing you with your user IDs and password for your self-learning portal. Okay. So this is a portal where the entire information about the classes going on, the recordings, and whatever is the study material will be available to you. You can go through that, and the recordings are something that would be visible to you till the time we complete our sessions. And even after the completion, they would be there for you for next 15 days after the completion of the course. So in case you have missed anything or left anything, you can go ahead with that. I think this is clear to all of you. Any doubts in this thing regarding your self-learning portal? Okay, okay, that's fine. Then after that, and since it is a certification course, so even after the completion of the course, um, yes, Pranavi, a very good question that you have asked. The questions that you are asking on the live classes, that will be answered depending upon what kind of question it is. And further questions, even after that, you have any other questions, you can type it on the self-learning portal, and every week I will be answering them personally. You will get all the answers to your queries. Don't worry on that. So even that will have an option to post the queries and everything. Okay. So Sheil, the user ID and passwords will be sent to you this week only. Next 2 to 3 days, you will receive a proper mail from Tax Guru Edu providing you with the user IDs and the passwords. Don't worry about that. Right? Okay. Then I was saying that since this is a certification course, so after completion of the course, what will happen? You will be given 10 to 15 days time, and I believe by August 10th, there would be the examination conducted for this particular course. So basically what we want is that we want to evaluate that what exactly you have got through this particular course, right? So this examination would be happening. This is a kind of MCQ question that will happen, and the passing marks are 50%. And once you achieve that, you will be provided with the online certification of this course. Nandini, the exam will be happening most probably in the end of the August. By the mid of August, we are planning to finish this course, and thereafter time will be provided to you to do the revisions. In case of any doubts, you can ask on the self-learning portal. They will be cleared, and then thereafter you can give your exams. Good to go ahead with everyone? Yeah. Nice to see that everyone is so awake on the Sunday morning and so interactive batch. Everyone is there on the portal and responding to all the questions. Good to know that. Okay. So let's proceed ahead. So I believe that in this entire course, what all we are going to cover. When we talk about these 8 classes, we are going to do a lot of things that will talk about the GST compliances. So Shankar, you will be getting the PDF notes. So I'm going to come on that only, that what exactly the kind of material would be shared with you and what exactly will be the way in which we will be proceeding in the course. So the course would be, I have exactly divided the entire thing in 2 manners. So first would be your study material. Wait a minute. So study material. This is basically, it will be shared with you. It is in the form of PDFs. This covers everything, whatever is going to happen in the class, everything is there on the notes. Even when I say GST compliances, we are going to visit the website a lot. This is going to be a complete practical training where the website will be involved the most. So I have made the PDFs in such a manner that you are having screenshot of every step taken so that you don't miss anything out of the classes. So everything is there. Okay, Arshad, I'll involve Hindi also in between, not an issue. So, course. So in the course, there are 2 portions. First is your study material PDFs. The same things are in the form of PPTs also, which I will be running in the classes. But PPTs say ज़्यादा, more we will be concentrating on our websites because we are talking about compliances, right? So compliances, how they will happen, because I want to tell you how you will go on the GST portal or the e-invoicing portal and how you are going to write things, feed the data into that, and how you are going to file the returns. Might be I won't be clicking on the final submit thing because I'm going to use my portal for that to give you all the references. I can't do the submit thing, but rest, everything will be shown step by step on the portal to you. So this is how we are going to proceed in the next 8 classes, right? अब अगर हम आगे बात करते हैं कि हमारे कोर्स में what all will be included in the course. So this is, I'm just giving you a snapshot that what exactly is included in the course. It depends upon the session, how the sessions are going on, what exactly is the requirement of my all students. Accordingly, we can even amend the sessions कि क्या पहले करना है, क्या बाद में करना है. That is not an issue. So we would be going ahead with first thing, very first important thing, what I believe when I say GST. How your GST process starts. GST process starts once you have the GST number in your hand. So the very first topic we would be covering is the registrations. Registrations are of many types. Be taxable payers, that is the regular registrations we are talking about. Then we have casual people, casual dealers, for whom we have to go ahead with the registration. क्यों कराना पड़ता है हमें कैजुअल रजिस्ट्रेशन, किस लिए कराना है, एनआरआईज का रजिस्ट्रेशन क्यों होता है. We will talk about then voluntary registration. We will talk about every scenario for which we have to go with the registrations. And when I talk about registrations, हम पूरा website जाएंगे. Registration has around 8 or 9 tabs to be filled. क्या documents जाते हैं, कैसे fill करना है आपको, कितना MB है. We will talk about everything on that. After the registrations, once you are registered under GST, does that suffice? No. What happens is that, let's suppose I have registered myself today and within 6 months, I change my place of business, my registered place of business, or I change some items which I am dealing into, or I open a branch of my office. So there are many things, right? Practically that can happen, and because of which we have to make certain amendments in our registration detail. This is something very important, and as a registered SSE, we should make sure that the GST department should be aware about all the changes that are happening with reference to your GST number. It should not be skipped. So the amendments are covered as both core and non-core amendments. I'll explain in the classes what is core, what is non-core, what you need to consider, what you not, right? So we'll consider all the amendments. Then thereafter amendments, there is cancellation. So cancellation can happen suo moto. You yourself, you have closed the business and you want to get the cancellation done for your GST number. It should never be left open. अगर आपका GST नंबर आपको क्लोज करना है, आपने अपना बिजनेस क्लोज कर दिया है, तो इट्स वेरी मैंडेटरी दैट यू गो अहेड विद द कैंसिलेशन ऑफ योर GST नंबर. डोंट लीव इट ओपन कि हमने रिटर्न फाइल करना बंद कर दिया और हमारा GST नंबर बंद हो गया. ऐसा नहीं होता है. The department will come back and they will issue a lot of notices. It should be properly closed, right? Then उसके बाद cancellation department भी कर सकता है आपका. If you are a defaulter, any kind of default that you have done in your GST returns, be it filing of your GST returns, or what can happen is that जो मैंने अभी ऊपर registration में आपको बोला that whenever you are going for registrations, you need to update the GST department. Let's suppose you have changed your registered office address and you have not intimated the department. If the department comes, any person from the department comes to check your registered office address and you are not available, GST department has the right to cancel your registration because you are not available at that particular place, right? So cancellation can happen suo moto or it can be cancelled by department. Department can say you are not filing your returns, we will cancel your registration. So if we think that due to some unforeseen circumstances, we were not able to file the return and now we are ready to file the returns and we want our cancellation to be revoked, right? So even revocation is there. Subhash, suo moto means I want to do it on my own self. I decided today that, okay, my business is now closed. I'm not continuing my business. So I have to go myself and have to intimate the department that I want to get my cancellation closed, my particular registration closed. So I'm going on my own self. Even the department has the right to cancel my registration suo moto. Okay. Ravi, notices, obviously. So whenever you do your registration, sorry people, what Ravi has asked to me, he's asking me that will the notices will be received through mail? When you do your registration, it is very mandatory that you need to feed a proper mobile number and a proper email ID. While doing the registrations, even as a chartered accountant or as an accountant for our clients, please communicate to your clients properly that we need a proper mobile number and an email ID that is accessed by the client. It should not happen that it is given of such a mobile number or email ID which they don't even open once. Because all the communication from the department, be it anything, it will be received on mails and intimation will be sent on your mobiles. So the notices for the cancellation is sent by the department and department gives you an opportunity that I believe you are not filing your returns on time. So I believe you are a defaulter. I give you this 10 days or 15 days time. You need to come back and tell me that why should I not cancel your registration? Always an opportunity is given by the department. And if within that time you have given your answers and you are able to file your returns, your registration won't be cancelled. And even if it is cancelled, so there is an option of revocation. Now, what is the time limit for revocation? How it happens? These all we will be covering in our going forward sessions. Okay. Then in this going forward, there is composition levy also. Who is a composition dealer? Who opts is? And how does it happen? So composition levy will also be covered. So Nandini is asking that what is revocation? Nandini, revocation means uh, now the government has cancelled. So there is a cancellation order with me. Now I want to revoke that cancellation order. I want to cancel the cancellation order. So doing the reverse of the cancellation. So I can't say cancel my cancel order. So we use the term this revocation. We are saying that remove that cancellation order for me, right? Okay. Then after we will be learning about what is composition levy, who can opt for composition levy. If once opted, you can return back to your normal registration also. When you opt for composition levy, what all forms are required to be filled, and when you opt out of composition levy, what all forms are required to be filled. Majorly, it's about the ITC factors which have to be considered during the composition levy. So we will be even covering that particular portion. Okay. Then beyond that, we will be going with certain applications. We are required to make many applications to the GST department, such as LUT, that is your letter of undertaking. Can anyone tell me what is LUT? Why do we need it? Yes, Veena, this is for exports, for export of services. Shankarji is saying zero rated sales. And Pranavi is telling export is done without paying GST. Yes, correct, correct. Just 1 minute. SEZ sales. Yes, you are absolutely correct, everyone. So everyone has an idea that what exactly is the LUT. Ramchandran ji, aapne the question that you have asked that after cancelling, can we reopen in the same name or the same GST number? I'll just give you a short answer on this. We will be covering it when we are going ahead with our cancellation classes. So yes, we can reopen it, but there are certain cancelling, when I'm saying, okay, we can go ahead with the revocation. If the department has cancelled my registration, there is a time limit within which I can apply for cancellation. Or the other question that I'm interpreting that you are trying to ask is that if I suo moto cancel my registration, I have closed my business. Now after 1 year or 6 months, I again open my business. Then you're asking, can we open in the same name or the same GST number? Yes, provided the closure has been done properly. If you have the closure thing properly, then you can do it. That is you have to give your surrender application, then there is a final return to be done, and you have completed all the GST liabilities, then you can again go and open with the same PAN number and the same trade name as well. That can be done. Trade name, legal name, we are going to discuss today only. So just have some patience on that, right? So Subhashji, you don't know what is LUT? Okay. I'll give a small snapshot that what exactly is the letter of undertaking. So as the other people in the group has said that it is for the export of services or export of goods or my zero rated sales or SEZ sales. What are these different kind of things? This we are going to cover. Don't worry on that what is zero rated, what is export of goods and services. Every kind of thing we will be covering in our going sessions. So a simple thing is that whenever I have to do exports can happen outside my domestic territory or exports can happen within the domestic territory, that is the SEZ sales, right? So over there, now when I'm going to export the things as a part of the domestic territory, I'm liable to pay taxes on that, right? But our government has this notion, promote the exports, not the taxes. So that is why the government has given the benefit that if you are doing export of goods or services, you are not required to pay the taxes. So how it happens is with the help of the LUT. So whenever you go ahead with the export, you have two options: either export with payment of taxes, and then later on you go ahead with the claiming of refunds, or exports happen without payment of taxes. And when I say how it happens without payment of taxes, this is through your letter of undertaking. So once we file an application for letter of undertaking, I have a letter of undertaking with me. Now I can raise all my export invoices without adding on the taxes on the taxable values. So I don't need to go ahead with this refund process entirely. I'm saved from all these tasks. And one more additional information on LUT is that, so the day you apply an LUT, like let's suppose today I'm going to apply for the LUT, it will be valid from today, that is 18th of July 2021, up to end of the current financial year, that is 31st March 2022. So you have to make sure that LUT is applied before the beginning of the financial year every year. The GST portal opens this particular facility for application of LUT before 1st April of the every year. You get that thing, right? Nikhil Trivedi ji, you are asking that can you chat with the speaker during the live classes? Nikhil, I've already communicated that this is something not open in the particular technology, and this is because we have a lot of students over here, and if the audio thing will be open for everyone, it will create a lot of chaos in the class. So this question box is open. I'm reading every message that I'm getting, everything. So you can write anything you want to discuss, right? So let's move ahead. So with the LUT application, then we will be even going through the refund application, right? So we will be filing multiple refund application. There are many scenarios because of which you need to have refunds, such as first is your this only LUT we have discussed. If let's suppose I have not taken LUT, so what I'm doing, I'm then making the exports with payment of taxes. I'm depositing taxes with the government, but actually I'm not liable to pay the taxes just because I have not applied for the LUT. I have paid the taxes. Now what I'll do, I'll go for the refunds with the department. I'll do all the documentation work. A lot of documentation is required that we will be doing properly in the refund session, that how do you apply. Then another case of refund is that, let's suppose I am in the inverted duty structure. What is inverted duty structure? If my output liability is 18%. So I'm talking about inverted duty structure. So how does it happen is that my output is taxable at the rate 18%. But somehow, whatever inputs I am getting, it is taxable at the rate of 28%. So in any scenario, my ITC will always be larger than my output liability. And if my ITC is there, a lot of ITC has got accumulated to me, then I go to the department and ask for, please give me back my refunds. This can happen. Refunds can happen in more scenarios as well, such as I am a total export oriented unit. I'm doing a lot of EOU. If you remember the concept, EOU, I'm doing a lot of exports. So I have taken LUT also. So there is zero outward liability. I'm not paying any taxes to the government. But I have inputs as well that are coming to me. So there are inputs, lots of inputs, and all inputs involve GST credits. So I can go to the department and say that I have this much ITC and I want to reclaim the refunds of that. So I will get my refunds out of the government. Bhagwan Singh, you are asking me to repeat. So basically what we are talking about here is the refunds. the refunds that we claim from the department. Don't worry, refunds would be a proper session, and entire session is devoted for refunds because it is actually very technical to apply, how the refunds are applied, what are the scenarios, what documents are required to apply for the refunds. So we will cover everything in that, right? So I've just given you just an example that this is how the refunds happen and why we need to take refunds from the department. Even in my practical experience, I have seen that what has happened, once my client has by mistake deposited tax. Like when you deposit the taxes, there are options that you want to deposit under tax head, interest head, then there is a penalty head, fine head, and there is cess head. There are multiple heads under which you are required to deposit the taxes. So what my client has done by mistake, instead of depositing tax under the tax head, he deposited under the cess head. Now he is not having any kind of cess output liability, and the amount was huge. So what we did, we applied for the refunds to the department that this is something we have paid in excess, and by mistake, please provide us with the refund. But now, so this is a new welcome change made by the GST department. 5-6 months prior, there was no option for me to get this amount back other than claiming refunds. But now there is an option made available by the GST portal. It's that I can just file a normal form on the GST portal and I'll say that this is amount lying idle in my account in the cess. I want to get it transferred to the tax section. It will be done. Just few clicks and within 2 minutes, my amount will be transferred from any head. Any head. I'm not saying cess to tax. Any head you want to get it transferred, it will be done. This is a very, very welcome change from the GST department. You can imagine when in 2017, GST has initially claimed, even we as the practitioners, we were facing a lot of issues while getting it implemented. So such kind of mistakes were very common. And the clients got huge amount of money blocked in these heads, right? So let's move ahead. After the GST applications, we would be considering the return filing. Now the return filing, it comprises a lot of things. Your GSTR 3B. Okay, let's see what all do you know about the GST returns. Tell me ahead of 3B. Everyone must have heard about the GSTR 3B. What all are the other returns we are required to file? As a normal taxpayer, GSTR 1, Veena, Ketan, Pranavi, okay. Everyone is GSTR 1. What else? Are we limit? Okay. Ravi, you are telling about 9 and 9C, the annual returns. Okay. Satin, sale of goods and services is my GSTR 3B only. Okay. Subramanyam ji, he is telling about GSTR 4. Okay. Pranavi, you are talking about GSTR 2B. Pranavi, 2B is automatically, that is generated by the department. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what inputs I've got, I'm just writing it them. Okay, writing them. Then I'm telling you what else is there on the portal about which we don't know. GSTR1 we have talked about. There are inputs from the people. Then there is GSTR 9C that most of the people have told me. It's okay. Now more inputs are coming. Veena, she is coming with GSTR 5, 6. Good. So 5, 4, 5, 6. Now they have came into the scenario. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So it is GSTR 7. Okay. Then 2A, 2B. We will talk about this concept as well. Sushma, DRC 03. It's not a return. Sorry, I was writing it. DRC 03 is basically the application through which you make the payment of taxes voluntarily, or if a notice is issued to you, or in the reconciliation. So it is a payment form, DRC 03. It's not a return that we are filing. Okay. Till now, there is one return that I'm seeing it is missing. Nobody is talking about. It is ITC returns. ITC 01, 02, 03. Nobody has talked about these. Yes, Subramanyam ji, refund applications. This is a kind of application that we do, RFD 11. That is the application that we will be doing. Um, any idea about ITC returns, people? What exactly is Pranavi? ITC is included in GSTR 3B. I agree with you, but these are specific returns. ITC 01, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Nikhil Trivedi is saying that it is related to input service distributor. No, Nikhil, it is not related to input service distributor. So Parth is saying it is for transfer. Correct. Very correct, Parth. ITC 02 is for transfer. Just let me give you a very small snapshot. Properly, we will be covering it. ITC 02, if I talk about, it's a very genuine scenario that can happen. Like, let's suppose today I'm running a proprietorship. Okay. And down the line, I am going to convert it into a partnership. I am expanding my business and I'm going to take it to the partnership thing, from a proprietary concern to a partnership. It's a going concern basis that we are following, and we are saying ki the business that is already existing is taken over by a new business entirely. So what we'll do, we will file ITC 02. Basically, it is whatever ITC. Nandini, she is asking that what is input tax credit. Nandini, don't worry, we would be covering what exactly is input tax credit. Just a small liner, if I would say. So whatever purchases you are making, whatever expenses you are incurring, you are also getting bills on which GST component is there. So this is accumulated to you and you call it input tax credit. So ITC 02, we filed to transfer that input tax credit from our parent company to the new company. It can happen in many scenarios like proprietorship conversion to a partnership, merger scenarios when one firm merges into the another firm, or it can happen if the death of a proprietor happens and the proprietorship is taken over by a partnership firm, by his sons. Then we do all these things, ITC 02 filing. Okay. ITC 04 is a kind of job work return. If you have clients who are manufacturers, it is required ITC 04 and you have to file the returns relating to the goods sent to the job worker and then goods returned back from the job worker. So basically there are delivery challans whose information is fed into the ITC return forms, right? So 3B, I believe you all people are aware what is 3B. 3B is basically every month we file it and we declare what is our outward liability and this is our inward liability. We net it off and then we make the payment to the government. One is relating to my sales. What is my sales liability? I declare it through my GSTR 1. Then GSTR 9 and 9C, it is an annual return that we are filing. Few changes. Now GSTR 9C don't require any further certification by the chartered accountants. It's a self-certification annual return still. But 9 and 9C, what I believe are kind of complex reconciliations done. So whatever may be the scenario, the clients are going to need our help to do the reconciliations. Then 4, 5, 6, and 7, these are separate returns for your input service distributor, for your composition levy, and accordingly we file it. And then there is 2A and 2B. 2A and 2B are not the return that you are filing. It is basically the input tax credit that is flowing to you. How this input tax credit flows to you? So when GSTR 1 is filed by your vendor from whom you have made the purchases. So he uploads that I have made sales to me. He will be writing my GST number while uploading the GSTR 1. So now the sales is booked in my name and GST credit is in my name and it will flow to me on my portal through 2A and 2B. We'll talk about 2A and 2B reconciliation, what is its important, how you pick out the data, what data you should not pick from there, and what data is required to be filled in 3B. why certain boxes become red. We'll discuss everything in depth. Okay. And then there are TDS, TCS returns also. We are going to file that as well. Going ahead of the returns, when I talk about reconciliations, so reconciliations are something required in 2A, 2B. This is a mandatory thing to be done, and I believe you should educate all your clients that 2A and 2B reconciliation to be done on a monthly basis is mandatory. 2 years back, the people used to take all the ITC. Whatever the purchase bills were available to them, we used to take all the ITC, but now the scenario has changed. So there is a rule called 36(4), a new rule. We will discuss this rule as well, which limits that you can't take all the ITC. You have to take the ITC on the basis of what is available as per 2A and 2B. Then we do the reconciliations for our annual returns. Annual returns is basically your reconciliation of books, your GSTR1, your GSTR3B filed, right? And then you have to do with your 2A and 2B. So multiple reconciliations in the annual return. Yes, Saurav, I'll consider Hindi also in between. Don't you worry. Okay. After reconciliations, the next important portal that we need to consider, and going forward, its demand is going to increase, that is e-invoicing. Can anyone tell me what is the current limit for you to go ahead with e-invoicing, for whom it is mandatory to do the e-invoicing thing? Yes, Milind, it's 100 crores, 50 crores. Okay. Above 50 crores in preceding year. Sushma is also saying 50 crores and above. Okay. Okay. So everyone is coming out with 50 crores and above. So when the e-invoicing becomes applicable, you are no longer able to give your invoices to your customers only in a manual mode. You have to go to the e-invoicing portal. There you need to generate your invoices on the portal. Then a particular code will be generated. What is that? QR code. A QR code is generated. Currently, e-invoicing is being happening only for the B2B sales. Yes, Pranavi, you are correct that this is for B2B invoices. B2C is not yet activated. Hoping within next 6 months it will be activated on the B2C invoices as well. There is a deferment coming every 2 months whenever there is an applicability of it, but it will happen soon as possible. So e-invoicing is a separate portal where we go ahead and do the e-invoicing thing. So this properly entirely we will be covering that how do you generate your e-invoices. Then there is e-way bills. So once you have issued an invoice, I'm not talking about e-invoicing, any invoice. Once you have raised an invoice, there is a requirement to go ahead with the e-way bills. Subhashji is saying that explain B2B and B2C. Subhashji, we will cover everything. B2B, B2C sales, what exactly is this? We will cover that. So e-way bills. You have issued the invoice now. Now your goods are moving on the road, right? Goods can move through many ways, right? Be it road, be it sea, be it flight, be it train. So there are many modes for the movement of the goods. Whenever the goods move, there is another documentation requirement as per the GST Act, which is the e-way bills. Though there are certain limitations that above this amount, you are not required to issue an e-way bill. The e-way bill, the restrictions are intrastate and interstate both. Depending on that, you are required to issue your e-way bills. This will be also covered properly. And then there would be the payments, the different payment forms available on the portal. How do we fill it? How it happens? Then there would be your ledgers, what all ledgers are available, how do you download it, how do you make the reconciliations depending upon the ledgers. And the next would be covered as the notices. You receive multiple notices from the department on your website, on your GST portal only. So once you receive the mail that we have issued a notice to you in that particular case, so that would be available on your GST portal. Once you log in, all the notices, all the clarifications are there. So you are required to do all the answering or providing all the clarifications over there. So how to respond to the notices will also be covered in this entire course, right? इसके अलावा, if anything else required, we are open. We are not saying कि this is the limitation. इसके अलावा जो भी कुछ होगा, अगर होगा, you can write it to me and we will cover that as well in the course things, right? Okay. Ab, what I want to know from you people is that, tell me, Shankar Santhanam, you are asking how to prepare for GST audits. So we will be doing the GST audits things also, don't you worry, right? So I want to ask you people one question. What all are the portals, right? When I talk about GST portals, what all GST portals are there where you are required to go online and do the GST compliances? Can I have the answers from you? Which GST portal? What is the address? Okay, Parth is saying gst.gov.in. Pranavi, can you please tell me what is e-invoicing portal, the address? GST, so everyone is coming with gst.gov. Pranavi, okay, goods, e-invoice1.gst.gov.in. Okay. Nikhil, Priyanka, Sayali, everyone is on this gst.gov.in. आगे बढ़े, और भी है पोर्टल हमारा, एक पोर्टल हम भूल गए हैं. We have left one portal, we are not typing anything about it. Not GST Council. Where is the e-way bill portal? Just now we have talked about it. The e-way bill portal. Right? So, the different portals which we will be visiting during our entire course. First is your gst.gov.in. I hope now everyone has adapted to my handwriting. I have a very bad handwriting. So it's been an hour. I think everything is at least understandable to you what I'm writing. So we have three portals, gst.gov.in. That is our basic portal where we will be filing all the returns and everything. Then, as very correctly said, e-invoice1.gst.gov.in. ये हमारी दूसरी वेबसाइट है जहां हम ई इनवॉइसिंग पढ़ेंगे कैसे रेस किए जाते हैं. थर्ड इज योर ई-वे बिल. ई-वे बिल डॉट, सॉरी यहाँ डॉट नहीं है बाय मिस्टेक, ई-वे बिल gst.gov.in. So these are the three portals जो हम इस पूरे करिकुलम में विजिट करेंगे. रोज इन्हीं पे ही हम बातचीत करेंगे और इन्हीं पे जाके सारी फाइलिंग्स देखेंगे. That how do we file everything on these portals, be it application, be it return, be it clarification, be it explanation to the department, be it raising e-invoice or e-way bills, everything. Okay. तो हम ऐसा करते हैं, थोड़ा सा देख लेते हैं कि ये पोर्टल्स है क्या. आज थोड़ा सा हम रूबरू हो जाते हैं. Let's have an introduction with these portals also. Just give me a minute. I'm changing my screen now. I hope the screen is visible to all of you. This Google Chrome thing. Okay. So before going to the GST main portal, let's once visit this e-way bill portal and e-invoice portal because it will take less time for me, and then we'll spend good time on the GST portal. Okay. So let me just type e-way bill gst.gov.in. Okay, so is it visible? Okay, so this is the e-way bill portal. Just wait a minute. Okay, is it now full screen to you, Rajnita? This is the entire e-way bill portal. The e-way bill portal and the e-invoicing portal, they are a little bit messy because a lot of information is there on the same website. Uh, you will get the recordings and you can write it down what exactly is the address. I've written on that sheet as well. You can type it and you can open it on your system as well. So basically, I'm just giving you an intro about this particular portal. So this is the login button. Where do we log in? You need to type your username, password. This is the best thing about this portal I love. If you forget anything, you can get your passwords and OTPs and everything provided. Again, very mandatory thing, the mobile number and the email IDs are properly given to the department. Then there is registration in this. Just to add on, I would like to tell you on the e-way bill portal, like on e-invoicing portal, it will be mandatory for you that you need to have a GSTIN number. That is, you must be a registered person. But when I talk about e-way bill system, e-way bill system gives you the permission specifically to the transporters only. There might be transporters who do not have a registration number, but still they are providing with the services of transportation. So for them, they have provided a separate thing. I hope this is visible, enrollment for transporters. Now, why a transporter need a registration? Why a unregistered transporter can do the supply of goods and services? What is their role in the e-way bill? Everything in depth will be discussed in our going forward sessions. This is just to make you familiar about this is the portal we are going to deal with, right? Then the second portal, that is your e-invoicing portal. Somehow it is very similar to this one. Sorry, I typed the wrong address. E-invoice 1.gst.gov.in. Very similar to your e-way bill portal. Over here, you will be generating your e-invoicing. This is only for the registered persons. You will log in from here and then you can start ahead with the e-invoicing and the e-way bill thing. What I can tell you as per my experience is that once you go through this e-invoicing and e-way bill system, you will have a very thorough knowledge about the sales documents. Now, sales has multiple documents that you can issue. You will have the knowledge about each and every kind of document that is being issued because e-invoicing and e-way bill system provides you option for all the kind of documents, every kind of documents, and we will discuss it when we will going through these portals. The kind of documents that can be issued. We'll discuss them in details. Okay. Now, this is our main portal on which we will discuss a few things today. gst.gov.in. I say, as a GST practitioner, this is my temple. Every day in the morning, when I start my work, I open this temple. Like it is said that whenever you go to you are a kind of person who believes in God, and then every day in the morning you wake up, you pray to the God. This is a kind of routine for you, right? Similarly, as a GST practitioner, it is a routine for me to go every day in the morning in my office and to see this portal and see if there is any updates, any new thing has came. I have to be aware about it and everything. So you need to develop that habit that every day we have to be updated about the changes that are coming in the GST. Few people are in a little bit touch of what exactly happens. You must be aware that every day, every alternate week, the notifications come and they make the changes, right? And as a person who is practicing in GST, we have to be aware about each and everything happening. ओके, थोड़ा सा इसका दर्शन करें इस वेबसाइट का कि इस वेबसाइट में कहाँ कहाँ पे क्या क्या लिखा है, कहाँ जाके हमें क्या करना है। थोड़ा इस वेबसाइट को हम गो थ्रू करते हैं, राइट। सो इफ यू विल सी, द फर्स्ट important button over here is login. If you are a registered taxpayer who is already registered under GST, आप यहाँ जाके क्लिक करेंगे, it gives you an option that enter your username and password and you log in through that. अगर आप कुछ भूल गए हैं, forgot password or forgot username, आपको उसका benefit मिल जाता है. You will get the OTPs, mobile verification होगा, email verification होगा, and then you can log in. This particular button is very important, first time login. What happens is that whenever you apply for GST registration, आप जैसे ही अपना GST registration अप्लाई करते हो, अप्लाई करने के थोड़े दिन बाद आपके पास एक मेल आता है डिपार्टमेंट से. The mail from the department says that we have approved your GST registration. This is your first login user ID and passwords. They give you a default user ID and password. Then you go through that. वो यूजर और ID पासवर्ड आप यहाँ से जाते हैं और फर्स्ट टाइम लॉगिन आप यहाँ से करते हैं. ओके, सो लेट्स गो बैक टू माय होम पेज. आज हम इसी होम पेज को पूरा घूमेंगे. ये हम एक एक करके अभी सारा देखते हैं. The most important thing which I believe is this button. I really love this button. And for all the people who I know who are registered under GST, I always suggest to their accountants that this is something they should do every day. If you are a person who is into business and he wants to carry out your business without any mess in your life. So what exactly the thing is, that is your search taxpayer. As a businessman, I would be dealing with what? I would be dealing with vendors and customers both. Let's discuss on this portal. So as a businessman, I have both, right? I have vendors and customers. Just to define you, customers to whom I am making sales, and vendors means to whom I am making the purchases, right? Purchases can be of goods or services, and customer sales depending upon my business, whether I am dealing in goods or I am dealing in services. It can happen both ways, right? So whenever you deal with anyone, be it your vendor or be your customer, you have to be sure that the vendor and the customer are a genuine party. What happens is that I am making purchase from this vendor. Let's take a rough example. I am buying 100 rupees item from him and he applies 18% GST on this. So he is raising me a bill of 100 plus 18, that is 1118. I am paying this 1118 to this vendor. On the other hand, I'm making a sales of 200 plus GST. I'm assuming I'm generally taking the rate as 18%. In most of my examples, 18% would be the rate I would be taking. So I'm making a sales of 236, right? Just to give you a small snapshot about the ITC and output liability. So in this case, what is my ITC? Sorry. So what is my ITC? ITC is the GST that I have paid on my purchases. That is 18 rupees. Market eligible ITC. What is eligible and non-eligible? Eligible is the ITC, the purchases which qualify to be assisting me in my business. There are certain purchases which don't qualify as required for my business, and there are few purchases which are debarred in section 17.5. Section 17.5 contains specific items for which you cannot claim the ITC. For example, I am buying a car, provided I'm not in a business of running or hiring them the cars, then I won't get the ITC for the purchase of a car. So in this case, I have got an ITC of 18 rupees and my outward liability is 36. Okay, 36 rupees. So I'll take the ITC of 18. I have already paid 18 to the government. and the balance 18 I have to pay to the government as taxes. Okay. Pranavi's question, it's out of the flow right now, but I'm telling you, what if we use a car for business? If we are using for business, Pranavi, the GST component will also be capitalized along with the cost of the car. You cannot take the ITC for the GST component of the car, and I believe it's always huge. It's generally 18%, and for the luxury cars, it is coming out to be 28%. It's a huge amount, but it's a part of the cost, and you will claim depreciation on that. Okay, so this is the ITC and outward liability. Now, when I say 18 rupees as my eligible ITC, one condition is what the law says, that this is your eligible purchase and you can claim the ITC. Even if it is eligible, what if it is not flowing in the to be return? The person from whom I have made the purchases has not filed his GSTR1. So when a person is not filing his GSTR1, he is not showing that I have made sales to me. Me means Deepika. He is not showing that. Then that particular ITC is not going to flow to me. To be mein nahi aayega. It won't come in to be. So if it won't come in to be, I won't be able to make the claim. So what will happen with me? This 18 won't happen. I would be ending up in paying 36 to the government. So I am paying 36 to the government. 18 I have already paid to the vendor. So I am at a net loss of 18 rupees. And these are the small amounts we are talking. When we see the big businesses, if this 18 rupees credit is not flowing, it might be 18 lakhs, it might be crores. This hit the working capital requirement of the businesses. And talk about small business person. For them, even a lakh rupees is too much. They might be running on a working capital loan of 10 lakhs. And if lakh rupees of ITC is not flowing to them, they would be in a huge loss. So in order to avoid this, we have to be a very active businessman. How do we become that active businessman? Is through this. Search GSTIN. You have to be aware about what exactly is your vendor. His KYC things are available here. And is he or she filing the returns or not? Is there anyone who wants to share any GSTIN number for which we want to check their status? Any GSTIN number? It's a public portal data. Anyone can see that. Anyone who wants to share any GSTIN number? No one? No GSTIN number to be shared? Okay, so I'll write my GST number only. So I have typed the GSTIN number. Okay, Rupal, I'll be taking your GST number as well. Just wait a minute. I've typed now. So as soon as I type, give me the results. A lot of results. Legal name. What is the legal name? What is the trade name? There is a difference in legal name and trade name. चलो ये साथ के साथ कर ही लेते हैं. What is legal name and trade name? So we have talked about legal name and trade name. Legal name, what is there on the PAN card? जो भी है वो आएगा. और ट्रेड नेम में क्या आएगा? जिसके नाम से आपका बिजनेस है, जिसके नाम से आप अपना बिजनेस नेम आपने रखा है. In a partnership, company, LLP, it's going to be the same. But when it is going to be different, if I am a proprietor. So let's suppose myself. So my PAN card name is Deepika Agrawal. It will show the legal name as this, and the business name will show as, let's suppose, Deepika Agrawal and Company. I am opening like that. So my business name would be Deepika Agrawal and Company. And my legal name would be my PAN card name. And these are certain core, non-core amendments. So everything is interrelated, right? Then it is effective date of registration, since when you are registered. So it is showing 1st July 2017. That is the first day when the GST Act got implemented. Kind of constitution, whether my GST number is active or not. This is a very important. Very important field to be considered by everyone. When you are doing KYC of your vendors or customers, please check properly कि GSTIN status is active. ये बहुत सारे मेरे clients के साथ हुआ है, practical experience है, लोग check नहीं करते हैं. What happens is that the GSTIN status is cancelled. It is properly written, cancelled. And the person whose GSTIN number is cancelled is still dealing. He will give you a proper GS sales invoice. He would be mentioning the GST number. He would be charging GST. Now, if his status is cancelled, how he can file his return? He's not able to file his return. And if the returns are not filed, I won't get that credit, and a huge amount of credit gets blocked. If you people are little bit aware, in the last 1 year, a lot of cases have been there which the GST department has came out with relating to the fraud invoicing. A lot of cases, a lot of uh, people are involved, and the amount of cases are 25 crores, 100 crores, 1000 crores. The amount of GST involved in the transactions is such high because what has happened, we have dealt with people whose GSTI number was cancelled and they were just issuing the fraud bills. So this is something very important to be checked, and I always prefer whenever I have a new vendor or a new customer, I take their GSTI numbers, see the screen, and then I take a printout of it. I need to keep it in my files. Might be today the status is active and I'm dealing with this person for a period of year, 2 year, 3 year, and after 3 years or 2 years, this person has committed any default and the status becomes cancelled, right? This you can't check every day. So you need to keep on checking your accounts department, like in a year, this exercise should be there, and you need to take the updated status. If there is no change, then keep the same paper. If there is a change, you need to update that, right? So this is how we do it. Then this is administrative office detail. This is my other office detail. So over here, it is very clearly stated, my jurisdiction is under center. This other office, it contains a detail. Let's suppose I have to meet my um, department officer who is my dealing officer, then we will go to this Delhi East, this particular range, and I'm going to visit her. This is the address. This is my principal place of business that is mentioned, my address. So there are few questions. Satyan has asked that how can we check multiple vendors whether they are active or not at a time? Satyan, there is no such thing that I can write multiple GSTI numbers and I'll get a multiple report. This has to be done one by one. I know it is a time consuming process, but it is required to be done. This activity is not required to be done every time. So once initially it's a hard work, but thereafter whenever there are new vendors or customers, you can do that. Then Arshad is asking, Arshad, your question is not clear to me. Carnival Films Private Limited. What exactly? It is cancelled. We need the GST number. Then there are websites through which I can just we can type the name of the particular firm and then I'll get the GSTI number. But what exactly do you want to ask? Please clarify it more. Okay. Then it asks that whether Aadhaar authenticated, eKYC verified. This is something that is new, has come into the registration. So when you apply for the registration, at that place only we get the Aadhaar authentication thing. My registration is quite old. It was done when the GST thing came and I got transferred from service tax to GST. At that time, it was not done. So this is something now for me, a red signal that, okay, I need to go back and I need to get it done. Then this is the kind of core business activity that we are doing, registration codes and everything. And now this is the most important table over here. That is your show filing table. You need to check this. Why? I'm going to tell you that why we need to do this. What happens is that there are many people. What they do is that they are filing GSTR once, but they are not filing the 3B. Now what they are doing through one, when they file their GST returns, one is filing, so the credit is flowing to me. My vendors have filed their GSTR1, but they haven't filed their 3Bs. Now through one, the credit is flowing to me and I'm taking all the ITC. But what the GSTR 3B is for making the payment of taxes to the government. Now that particular vendor is not making the payment of taxes to the government. Now this is again in depth, something in depth of GST. So there are certain conditions required to be met if you have to claim any input tax credit. Out of that condition, one important condition is that the taxes should have been paid to the government. Now if my vendor is not filing the 3B, the taxes are not paid to the government, but through one, the ITC is flowing to me. So I should be aware, is my vendor like that? If it is that case, then it can happen very soon that the government will cancel his registration and I will be at a very big loss. This was also a new change that was implemented, I think, a year back. Now, what the government says is that if you are not filing your GSTR 3B for consecutive 2 periods, your GST number would be deactivated. So once you then file your returns, then only it will be activated. So this is a welcome change. If you will talk to me regarding financial year 17, 18, 18, 19, so this was a huge issue that I was seeing. People were filing GSTR1 but not the 3. They were doing this fraud. They were not paying the taxes to the government. So we need to even see this. Like if you can see in my table, it is mentioned that for financial year 21-22, the last return that I filed is for May. June, still there is a time. 20th is my filing date for 3B. We will talk about the filing dates properly. Just to give you an example, June, 20th July is the last date. Still there is time, so it will be filed. And for one, the time has gone. So my June GSTR1 is already filed. So always take a printout of this and keep it with you. Don't miss it. Be it any customer, be it any vendor. Just make it a habit. Now Bhagwat Singh is asking that what is HSN? Bhagwat Singh ji, HSN is the harmonized system of nomenclature. इसको अगर सीधी भाषा में समझेंगे, जैसे हर किसी का नाम होता है, राइट? बट नाम जो होते हैं कॉमन भी हो सकते हैं. राम 4 लोगों का हो सकता है, श्याम भी 4 लोगों का नाम हो सकता है. बट अगर हमने एक कोड दे दिया, जैसे हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में देयर इज एन एम्प्लॉय आईडी, to give an employee ID, so employee ID is a unique number, right? ऐसे ही वेंडर कोड होते हैं, ऐसे हमारे कस्टमर कोड्स होते हैं. So we provide a unique number to my goods and services. So HSN code, you will get HSN code for every item you talk about in terms of goods. So any goods, it will have a number. It is a 8-digit number. वो divided होता है chapter wise, range wise, then item wise. So you can have an entire book on that where the HSN codes are given. HSN is for goods, and if you will say HSN, you will get for goods, and SAC codes you will get for services. So if you will be seeing, I am a service industry, ये सिस्टम सर्विसेज में इन्होंने डाला, यहाँ इन्होंने SAC नहीं लिखा, इनको लिखना चाहिए था HSN में. This is my service code. For services, you will never get your codes in the HSN list. You will get in SAC list. There only. इसके साथ एक चीज और डिस्कस करते हैं, एक बार हम उनका भी देख लेते हैं. Just to come back, another GST number was given by Rupal. Just let's type it. It is 27 AAA P B 8263 A1 Z9. Okay, 708216. So this is something that Rupal has shared with us, a GST IN number. So again, we can study that. It is related to Rupal only. Her legal name is coming, Rupal Viresh Bhatt. The trade name, I told you, it's a proprietorship. So this is her legal name. Her PAN card name is appearing here. And this is her trade name. The trade name on the basis of which she is running her business. Date of registration, it is a regular registration. This is your jurisdiction that is coming. principal place of business. Now they have done the Aadhaar authentication as well on 6th February 2021. They are service providers and they are dealing into the coffee products. So this is the filing details for them. So for GSTR1, they have filed up to June. Or the IFF. What is IFF? I'll be explaining what exactly is the IFF table, why there is a slash. I believe, Rupal, you are in a quarterly filer, right? Or you are a monthly filer? Okay, you're a quarterly filer. So that is why you have filed up to March. Now the next quarter is April to June, and it will be filed in next 5 to 10 days, I believe. Right? Okay. So one more thing that I would like to tell you people over here is that, yahan, if you can see, there are two things written, GSTIN and UIN. Anyone, any idea what is UIN? Anyone? Any thought process about what is UIN number? You will see it many times. Unique identification number. Okay. That is the full form. Unique identification number. To whom the UIN number is given? No, Rupal, it is not Aadhaar number. Shankar is saying that it is for every entity. No. Ketan is saying provided at the time of registration. Okay. Subramanyam ji is saying NRI. Pranavi Chitta is saying for foreign entities, casual taxpayers. Manmohan ji is talking about casual taxpayers. Okay, I'll tell you what exactly is the UIN name. So what exactly is UIN? Unique identification number. You have all given a proper expansion of the short form. That is your unique identification number. This is provided to foreign diplomatic missions or the embassies. Bhagwat Singh, what you are writing is that just before getting registration number, that is ARN. That is not your UIN number. That is ARN. ARN, that is difference. ARN number you will get for every application file. Okay. Anirudh, you are saying that state number is your 07, 08, 09. It is only a 2-digit thing. Okay. Ketan is saying company has identification. That is SIN number. Company identification is SIN number. That is not UIN. So why this UIN is given to embassies and foreign diplomatic missions? What exactly these people are functioning? We are talking about India only. So in Delhi, we will have a lot of embassies, be it American, US embassy, Dubai, UAE embassy. All the embassies are here, so they are not required to pay any taxes. They don't have any outward liability, but they are making a lot of purchases and inputs are there. So basically, a UIN number is provided to them so that whatever the GST they have paid, they can get a refund. The basic purpose of providing them a UIN number is that only. So all the purchases that they have made, they file their applications quarterly for claiming the refund and they get the refund back. That is the basic thing. Okay. So this is what we talk about. What is your search by GSTIN, UIN? You can even search by PAN. Why it is important through, why it is different from searching through GSTIN? If you search anyone through PAN basis, you will get all the GST numbers registered on that particular PAN number. So any PAN number you want to get it searched, you can type it and you will get the GST numbers registered with that particular. Anyone want to share any PAN number which you want to check right now? Anyone? Okay. So if I'll type mine only. So it is telling me that these are the registrations available. So I've got more inputs. Let's type one more. Okay, this is given by Ramchandran ji, 36. 36 name. It is AKIPR, then 4465Q. I'm getting an verification code. So this is a Telangana registration. There is only one GST number on this particular PAN number. Okay, so this is visible to all of you. I'll do one more, then I believe you can do it on your own. So on this PAN number, it was given by Ketan. So Ketan, there is nothing registered on this PAN number. There is no GST-IN till date. Okay. Okay. So let's come back to the home page. One confirmation that what we have done is that it's 9:40. Today's session was meant to be for up to 9:30, but since in the beginning I did this mistake and we had lost 15 minutes, so I just extended that 10 minutes. Can we just carry on for another 5 minutes and then we'll wind up today's session for the intro thing? Okay. So another 5-6 minutes I'm going to take from all of you and then we can wind up. So we have done the search taxpayer thing. Then there is services. There are many services that are available here. Registration, if you are going ahead with a new registration, so we will file the new registration application from here. This is also one of the option. Or if you'll go down, so even here you will get a registration box. Nandini, today's session is up to 9:30 only. It's an intro session. Going forward, all the sessions are going to be for 2.5 hours with a break of 10 minutes. So even here, you can go ahead with the registration. In the next class, we are going to start with this only, how the registration happens. So I'm going to click on this button in the next class only. Okay. So these are the registration. If any clarifications are there, till the time you don't get your GST number, you have this page only on which you can work. You don't get a GST registration, you can't go inside the website. There are payment links. This is available even inside when you get registered in your portal, and even it's given on the dashboard so that you can directly make any payment if you want to make. These are certain simple user services. If you want to see any HSN code, the holiday list, that in particular department, when is a holiday. So cause list, if any advanced ruling case is going on, you can get an idea about that, which case is running on which date, you can get it from here. Then there are refunds. If you have any refund application already filed, because refund application can be filed from your GST number only. So if anything is filed, you can directly from here track your application system. When I click on this e-way bill system, it will take me to my e-way bill website. So it gives me an option, click here to go to your e-way bill portal. So this is a shortcut which is given by the GST department on this. Similarly, they have even provided a shortcut for the e-invoicing portal as well. So if you click on here, it will give you an option that if you want to go to the e-invoicing portal, over here you will click and it will open these two websites only, which we have already visited. So, and this is your track application status. So if you have applied for your registration, over here also you can get your application status tracked. This is basically the GST law. If you want to see any act, you can download it from here. So this is a kind of Bible that is given for the GST laws applicable. Then this is downloads, very useful. And this we are going to use as soon as we'll start filing with the returns and everything. We will be doing the offline tool mechanism as well, because there is a limitation which is given by the GST portal that online you can fill up to this much of transactions. So it is generally 500 transactions which you can file online. If your transactions are more than 500, you can't do it through the portal directly. You have to go for the offline utilities. So we generally, these are so many offline utilities available through which you can file. 9C, you can file it offline only. So it's an offline tool that will get downloaded. You will fill it. And again, then you will upload the file. Search taxpayer we have already done. This is help and taxpayer facilities. This is something really I admire, a very good thing given by the department. This is your grievance portal, self-service. You can go and lodge any complaint you want to lodge regarding the system or your portal not working or any of the issue you are addressing. Like sometimes you're not able to file your 3B or you're not able to file your 1, you have wrongly paid any challan or your amount paid is not appearing on the portal, you can lodge your complaints. And you will write your email IDs, multiple options are given. This I'm showing you as well. So this is a portal. It gives you an option that there are so many things you can go ahead and file with your. So if you want to report an issue, you will click here on the left side, the button is given, report your issue, and you will just type. Like I want to type refunds. I have certain issue with my refund. So it is giving me multiple options. What exactly is the problem that you are facing and for which you want to file a complaint with the department. And it works. Believe me, it works. Whenever you are going to lodge an entire complaint, you will attach your screenshots, your documents. You will receive an email immediately from the department that this is something we have booked. And the TAT is generally 24 hours. You receive a revert mail from the department that whether they can resolve or not. And if they have resolved, this is the solution. So again, coming back to my home page, it gives you over here a few updates, what are happening. You can go through them, that this is something that is a new change that is done by the GST department. It gives you a due date calendar, that what are the due dates currently. Like for June, 3B has to be filed by 20th July. 1 is required to be filed by 11 July. Right? ये सारे यहाँ दिए होते हैं, but please people, these all dates sometimes. I would say in my entire experience, if I would say 100 days I have worked, for 3-4 days, what has happened is that these dates were not correctly updated. 3-4 days only, not every time. So I keep a track of the notifications. Like due to Corona, the COVID-19 situation, many times the dates were postponed. So you need to keep a track of those notifications, that this is how the dates are changing and we need to file the return then only. Right? So this is a brief profile about the GST portal. What you can do is that just create a bookmark of your GST portal on your laptop, because in all the next sessions, this is something we will be working upon. So Rashmi is asking me that which aspects of GST we'll be covering in next session of Saturday. So Rashmi, we are going to start with the beginning, that is your registration, that how you get your registrations, how it is filed, voluntary, casual, every kind of things we will be covering. What is amendment, core, non-core fields, cancellation, revocation, we'll be talking about everything in the next session. Okay, so I believe I was able to make up what I did in the beginning, and I was quite audible. And then, was I able to deliver what I wanted to deliver to you? You are able to understand what exactly was going on in all the sessions? Thank you very much. Thanks Ranjita, thanks Subhashji. Thank you everyone for giving me such nice feedbacks to me. And for next session, please do make sure that we are going to log in at time. Log in, basically me. I think this is for me, that I will log in at time. And see, generally what I'm getting the feedback from all the students is that mostly I'm going to communicate in English, but I am using very simple English. In mid, I will somewhere talk in Hindi as well. And if anything specific that you are not able to get in English, you can type it in the box. I'll convey it in Hindi as well. Not an issue with me. We can have both the mode of communication. And hopefully in next 1 or 2 days, you will be getting a mail with the user ID and the passwords, so that you can go with the self-learning portal. This today's session, recorded session, you will be getting in your portals. If anyone has missed, you can get that. Okay. So I believe that's all for today.